Hi, everybody. It's Ushma and me one more time.
Hi.
This time we're talking about our quantum future because I really think this this year, especially somewhere this summer, probably August. August was a big month. We flipped into another version of reality, and I think that version of reality is the one that's going to give us this quantum future. And it's so different from anything that's been before. So, you've got the old reality, which is quite limited, and then you've got a new and improved version of reality, which is pretty good and visionary, but then you've got, whoa, quantum reality, in which it's quite limitless and innovative and exciting, and things happen in the way that we wouldn't have seen them before. So we want to chat a bit about that and how we get to it, how we co-create it and stuff like that. So
Yeah, because it literally does feel like we talked about this choice for ages, like there's the old world and the new world, but it's like the new world is getting brighter and easier, and the old world is getting harder, and especially for those of us who've been working energetically or in consciousness or the way we've been working for a long time, you find that where you dip or where you start relating in the old way, you create much more havoc in your life than you did before, because now it's like the line has been made, there's something entirely new available, and unless you're in that lightness, you're going to create, I'm speaking for myself, I know when I do something that's not,
yeah.
And it can be just a little thought, it just creates chaos. But what's more exciting is what Soleira was saying about it's an era of creation, and what's available to us here in this new space is so exciting. And yeah, we thought it'd be fun to have a look at what is our quantum future. Like if we tune in and play with maybe a couple of areas, like what could it be and what are we being called to here?
Yeah, like one of the conversations that's come up this week, big time, is your quantum work in the world. Like, how do you run a business in a different kind of way? And there's been lots of people talking for years about improved versions, but it's still all fundamentally in the same area. And the way that we do it now is so different. It's so magical, effortless, easy, hyper creative. It's innovative. It's exciting, and like I just have to drop a post in and say something about coaching and I get 3 new clients, or I just have to have a thought that, oh, I'd like to do this, and then somebody messages me. it's like, well, one of the things in our quantum future is we're super connected. We are now part of the matrix or grid or, of consciousness, of reality. We're infused and embedded in it, and we can become it. That's one of the things for us. We've been becoming the quantum field. And therefore, we're sourcing a quantum future for the whole world, even for the whole universe. That's some of the stuff that we love to do. And it's limitless. So you were talking this week about the guy, Simon Sinek, that you saw do the video about moving from finite to infinite business. And I think that's true, because I think you can't have some belief about there's something you're supposed to do. I think when you drop all that and you come into a quantum innovative space, like you could make it up brand new in every moment. You could find ways to do things that nobody's done before. And that's really fresh and exciting.
Yeah, it's like there are no separations. So where you would have in the past seen work as one area in life as another, in this you are your quantum work in the world, you are your divine purpose, you are your whatever you want to call it, you are the bigger picture. Yeah. And you're not doing things for money, to create money. You're doing what you're inspired to do, and in the most delightful way. So you're bringing through new energies, which include new ways of doing business. Like in Source Pops, I called it the art of business. It's like creating your business as an art form, where you're fully expressed and flourishing in all sorts of different ways, and that you're not defining yourself. You're not saying, I am in this business and I am going to do this, or categorizing yourself. You can be very spur of the moment, what is it right now, and fully express that, knowing, well, it's almost like if you were Source on this planet, would you really have a business plan? I mean, would you? You just wouldn't. And would you need to create money in the old way? And would you have any thoughts of lack it in the old way? No, because you can create it now. So that, you know, whatever you need is always available.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's so exciting because you're talking about money and abundance as well, but there's even a version of quantum abundance, if we want to call it that, there's an effortlessness to it. It doesn't mean you don't do anything necessarily, although you're really good at that. You're really good at just creating abundance to come to you in a whole variety of fascinating ways that aren't necessarily you doing this and doing that and doing that. You know, but like, I love running a business. I really enjoy my work. I'm just excited by it every day, kind of thing. So what happens is that the abundance just comes. I don't have to market and sell. I don't have to push, and I don't have to be panicky about it. It's just this effortless, gracious, hyper creative state where I'm having a great time, and the abundance comes because that's what I love, and it comes to you in ways because that's what you love, and everybody would redesign and invent it in their own way, you know, how they run their business, how they would make abundance happen, etc., etc. I think if we step back for a minute and look at this quantum future piece, there's the way human beings are, and the way we perceive that human beings are is pretty small and judgmental generally. But in the quantum future, we're not like that. And I say we as in the whole of the human race and all life forms upon this planet and the planet itself. We are not shaped as small, limited beings. We hold and source limitless possibilities of becoming, of creating, of everything. In us, there's a power, a vitality, a life force. So if I want to have a quantum body and be well, I can have a quantum body and be well. I don't have to wait for the technology to catch up to do that. If I want to youthen, I can youthen. If I want to, start something new, I can start something new. If I want to learn in a brand new way, I can learn in a brand new way. You see what I mean? Everything's going to change. How we're connected across countries, across the globe, across races and gender and all of that kind of stuff. In the quantum future, it occurs very differently than the limited construct view of human beings and how humanity is, because we pop into something else, some grand becoming in which we have capacities that I think we do have access now, but I don't think anybody's shown how to do that. I think a lot of people are born with it, but then, they get talked out of it. Yeah, except for some of the new kids coming in. I don't think they'll get talked out of it, but, there you go.
Yeah, because looking at it, there are people doing some really extraordinary stuff right now. Yeah. And they're doing it in their field, whatever their field is. So, amazing things in health, amazing things in every field, but it's like there's always new available, but we're now in this completely new playing field, and we want to we want to pop through the new in every area and see what that looks like. So there's what we know already, and that's what we've been talking about now. But what we are looking to do in the next phase is really play with that in a wide open space of limitless or open possibility. in the quantum field. I call it the quantum new, Soleira calls it the quantum field. And see what pops through. What pops through for business? What pops through for our bodies? What pops through for whatever is fun? What pops through for play? You know, what pops through? Like, how do we want to live? What is the future when we're actually living more and more as this limitlessness? And we have, I mean, if you look at even the last, I don't know, 5 years, where we are now compared to 5 years ago, it's huge. And that's just accelerating. And we get to be at the cutting edge of that, which is so cool.
Oh, yeah. So we're doing this webinar coming up on November 4th called Get Your Quantum On. I like, you used the term the other day, the quantum groove. I thought, yeah, that's it. It's the groove.
Yeah.
It is like effortless kind of dancing to grand music, you know. It's so wonderful. And in that series, it's a 6-week series, and we're going to each week take a different thing. So your quantum work in the world, and quantum abundance, and quantum body, and, you know, we'll use different terms than quantum on everything. But basically what we want to do is not just create it in consciousness. It's much more about, let's live it, let's make it practical, let's make it real, let's put templates in place where as we live it, everybody in the world gets to have access to that new way, so they don't just keep continuing on in the old way. And so anybody who feels like being, you know, a leading edge innovator in that quantum future creation, this is a great opportunity to do it. And you'll get lots of stuff for yourself as well, because it's every time we do a series, we go to next levels and next levels all the time. So it starts November 4th, and it's on my soleiragreen.com website, and it's the Quantum Living menu bar, so you can access it that way.
Yeah. It's just, it's almost like, you know, I hear people talking about how the old world is crumbling, and it's like we need to really highlight this new world, and by highlight I mean energetically and by who we live as, so that there is somewhere that people know that they can just pop into that. It's not, you know, it doesn't need to be a big, difficult, drawn out thing, and, you know, you don't need to release lots of things from your past and from your body and all of that. You can literally just pop into the new space, where it all works differently, and then create from there. And that's what this is about, is like, what do we create from there?
Many of our friends would say that people say to them when they talk about this kind of stuff, they say, oh, you know, you need to get real, you need to live in the real world. And I think we're on a mission to say, this is the real world, folks. This is the new, this is the exciting, this is the future that we're living now and co-creating now. And so for anybody watching this, if you're on that mission, come play.
Simon Sinek, one of the things he said about you know, the fact that businesses have been treating them like finite versus infinite, that this is a world is flat moment, you know, when people found out that it wasn't. I think what we're doing here is this is when people suddenly realize the world isn't flat and actually it's round. That's what this is. It's like everything we thought how the world worked and that it was all physically based, it just isn't. It's vibrationally based, it's energetically based, it's consciousness based, and it's quantum based. It's whatever you want to label it as, and that is in every field, from your physical body to your physical reality. And what happens when we truly live that 100%?
If you want to play, if you want to have some fun, if you want to dance in the quantum world with the quantum groove with us, come join us.
With other people who have having the same conversation, which is really important too, when everybody else is talking a different world. So
Okay, everybody, thanks for watching.
That's what I'm like. Okay.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.